Hello, everybody. Welcome to the YINZER Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim, and we are the YINZER Bros. Tim is donning the Franco's Italian Army hard hat because of the victory. He also has behind him one of our Christmas pictures. That's me holding Tim, a.k.a. Frankenbaby, somewhere in, what is that, like 81 maybe, Tim?
Probably, dude. My head does look ginormous. All I need,
Your
I
head's
need
almost
is
as big as mine, Tim, and I'm
all I
9
need
years
is
older
those.
than you.
All I need is those little things sticking out of my neck, and you'd be a little, maybe a little. I mean,
Frankenbaby.
it looks like. I mean, was mom and dad? Did they just drop me an hour before this picture happened, and I just
I
happened
don't
my head
know.
happened to swell?
But it is a good Christmas picture because we got the tree behind it and everything.
It's a
That's
great
look.
Christmas picture, but TJ, my head is like the size of the tree.
It is. Look at your head compared to mine. And I
You're
got
like 10 in that picture.
I know. I got like I'm 10. I got like 9 years on you, man.
I mean, was mom and dad using my head to break boards like a karate kid or
No
something?
wonder mom had a stroke when she had you. Look at the size of
I
that
mean,
head.
my head
She was basically
is,
trying to push out a boulder, Tim. Holy crap.
dude. I mean,
That's pretty
my
rough.
head
That's
looks
rough.
like it. Look, I mean, it looks. It look. I do. I look like a Frankenstein. I head
You know,
square.
baby, it's Frankenbaby. It is.
Oh
Well,
boy.
Tim, we're in good spirits now because the Steelers are having a season. They just came off a high-powered win against the Bengals, the mighty Bengals. They beat them 44-38. Tim, did you ever think that the Steelers could score 44 points?
No, no, I didn't. I didn't.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, what are some of your initial thoughts of the game, Tim?
I mean, I'm always the one that kind of like looking at the worst case. The defense didn't look great.
You're a Yinzer. That's right.
But I mean, Cincinnati Bengal defense is bad, TJ. I mean, it's
They are.
like
They are bad.
it is like Monroeville water suck.
It does,
That's that they're bad, dude. They are bad.
They are pretty bad. They're not good, so they got to outscore people. How do you like to be Joe Burrow? All you do is throw up 30 plus games, and you can't win.
If I was Joe Burrow, you know what I would do if I was him? I would immediately demand a trade to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what I would do if I was Joe Burrow.
Especially after seeing that Hard Knocks thing or whatever it is. That dude, that's crazy.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I did. I watched it yesterday. That just talk about wanting to run through a wall.
You could have took this kid's head. That's what I feel like. It's just right through walls.
That was incredible. Golly. So the Steelers, they were pretty good. They had 520 yards of offense. Russ cooked. Dare I say he cooked. He was 29 for 38, 414, 3 TDs, and he had a pick six, but that pick six was garbage.
TJ, you could convince me Russ could have been throwing passes behind his back, and he would have been completing them against the Bengals. TJ, I think I could have got my four snaps with the Bengals.
You might have. I don't know. Pickens looks like he's another level. He had 3 catches for 74 yards. Tim,
TJ.
he's averaging 25 yards a play.
TJ, that dude he is teeter-tottering with
Oh, he is?
like I'm waiting for the white truck to come out right on Heinz Field and be like, hey buddy, you want to talk, buddy? And then immediately put him in a straitjacket and get him out of here.
Boy, did you see, though, in that hard knock, did you see Tomlin, like, quiet him, refocus him, and get him back on track?
TJ, dude, you see that? You do that with high school kids. You shouldn't be doing that with dudes in their 4th year in the league.
But look at even like Deontay Johnson, who is like you talk about, boy, Omar Khan looks like a genius
TJ,
now.
if
He
I
trades
was-
him.
If I was a GM, any GM in the league, and the Steelers did anything with their wide receiver, I would immediately hang up the phone. I'd be like, nope, click. You'll make the bat phone. It'll be the red phone and rings. Like, nope, here comes Omar talking about wideouts. Get him out of here.
Dude, there's a chance that he just might get released by the Ravens.
I don't think they're going to release him because I don't think.
No,
I think
they'll hold
it's
him.
what he wants to do because I think he wants to go to the Chiefs.
Well, it's true. So if they hold him to the end of the season and just deactivate him, they get a compensation pick.
That's true too. But I mean,
they're
it
gonna
is
hold him.
unbelievable. TJ, it's unbelievable. It's like
Yeah.
TJ, every wide receiver. Think about every wide receiver they dump. everybody's at times like, what the heck are they doing? They didn't get diddly poo from them. And they look back, they're like, oh my God, man, they're pulling rabbits.
I know. Tomlin looks like a master motivator. So Pickens had a good game. I mean, so Najee, he had a pretty good game. He was 16 for 75, 4.7 yards a carry. And then, you know, all these guys were they were balling. You got to love what Arthur Smith's doing. Holy cow. His scheme looks good. They showed they can win another way.
Frazier is
he's a monster.
This is how serious I am about Frazier. I've been on the website looking at jerseys for Frazier.
Well, you and Frazier have a similar physique, Tim.
No comment. I'm trying to lose some weight.
That's right. Tim is off the bimbo gummies, aren't you, Tim?
Yeah.
When was the last time you had one of them bimbo gummies?
Couple weeks, man. But man,
how are you feeling? Did you go through withdrawal?
A little bit, man. A little bit. Like today was a bad day. Like last night I got down a rabbit hole watching I don't know how it popped up on my Facebook thingies. Like people were doing leg workouts. I was like, I'm going to try these leg workouts. I can't move right now. I can't move.
Tim.
But yeah, I'm trying.
Go from nothing and just do it all. That's good.
I'm trying, but like Melissa at dinner tonight, there was a brownie that I got her from one of the stores a couple days ago. There's a half left. She's like, if you want that half a brownie, you could have it. And my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes.
So did you have it, Tim?
It's right behind me, just going, eat me, smiling at me. So it depends how quick we get done with this pod. I may partake in that brownie.
You know what that brownie could use is like a little ice cream.
TJ, I just feel like I am just knocking on diabetes door.
Well, Tim, they got pills and shots for that. You'll be fine.
TJ, not me, because I feel if I knock on down that door, I'm not going to be like on first steps of like diabetes. It's going to go to like 100, and they're going to immediately have to cut off one of my limbs.
Oh, stop. Well, the defense wasn't stellar, but it came up when it needed to. 3 turnovers. How about that Hard Knocks? But hit that whole thing about, kill Zeus. Tomlin called that thing with Hervig. And then you got to love what he said afterwards. He's looking at me. He says, this is not a lightning strike. You were brought here to do this. This is what you do. Dude, tell me, would you play for Tomlin?
Yeah. TJ, and I think every TJ, yeah. and I think every player in the league, I think we're going to be a super team for as long as he coaches. Because they're going to be like, send me to Pittsburgh. I want to play for that dude.
Dude, and then you put him against the light of the other guys. The other guys are just frauds. Stefanski won like Coach of the Year twice. How did he win Coach of the Year twice?
His beginning line to his thing were, "Hey, we're in the playoffs already." Like, no, dude, you're not. You're like 2 and whatever, dude.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. At least Harbaugh, you think that he may have something under the hood of the brain or something. The other two are just idiots.
You're watching it. And again, it was like 90% Steelers, 10% everybody else. I get it, but it was like.
Well, you got it. The other two guys, they look like they should be coaching like girls, seventh grade soccer. That's what they look like.
They do, man. They look like they should be kind of like coaching Powder Puff. I don't. It was watching Tomlin. I was just like, this dude, like, you just got again. I almost if it would have been that baby, I would have been running his head through the walls. Be like, let's go get him.
And I was looking for those Fritos that he was eating because maybe that's the secret.
I mean, he had his feet up like a G2 as he was eating those Fritos. Hey. I'm going, he looks like the coolest man on earth. He just does.
And he's talking strategy, real strategy, this and that. And the other guys are like, okay, guys, let's go. And did you see the one dude for the Browns that like used the F word 17 times in the first sentence?
I know. I mean,
what did he say? He didn't say anything.
I don't know, man. It was just incredible seeing. Like, I can't wait for next Tuesday. Like, if they're going to be all like this, if it's going to be 99% Steelers, you might as well just shoot that directly into my body. I can watch it all day. TJ, I could have sat there and watched that for 15 hours straight.
Oh, so it was good. So then coming up, we got the Browns again. Again, they beat us on that snowy, crappy day. It's going to be a lot of emotions again. I think it'll be a revenge game for us. I think we're going to be okay. But before we get to the Browns, Tim, how was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was okay. It was good. Had a lot of food. Did some leaves. The I don't know why I did the leaves, because they all just came back in my yard. Usually I pay some guy to do it, and I was like, not this year. Tim's going to save some money. Dumbest mistake in my life.
Yeah.
Between that, but I do have a good story, man. This is a pretty funny story, so may make the pod an extra 10 minutes, but it may be worth it.
Yeah. Well, so what happened?
So we're sitting downstairs. Me and my wife, Olivia's asleep, and our big thing this year is we're using the camera in her room to our advantage.
Uh-huh.
A lot of Tim Mateo going to the other room and using that mic and Santa-ing it up, saying, "Hey, we're watching you." So we're be good. You're not getting anything. You're getting coal. Be good.
That's good. Every parent. That's great parenting, Tim. Keep going.
Yes. Got it. Yeah. So we're sitting downstairs, and Melissa starts asking me these questions, like, if I was completing a letter or something like that, if I was a little kid. So she reads it off to me, and I'm going, okay. She's asking me about 3 questions. Then she reads it back to me. She's like, I see this site that you read these questions, and they put it into like a letter, and it looks like it's from Santa.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, send it over to me, see what it looks like. Sends me a picture of it. I read it. I'm going, all they really did was take your 3 answers and put some mumbo jumbo before it and after it, and just, I'm like, that's awesome. I was like, you want me to print this out? We can put this in the mailbox, and maybe say it's from Santa. Santa's looking at it. It's a letter, basically. Kind of Santa's looking at you doing all this type of stuff. It'd be coming from the North Pole.
Gotcha.
Which is like, no, I was thinking about just doing it, you could do it through the site. I'm going, oh, that'd be cool. I was like, how much is this to do? I'm thinking $3.99, couple, like an app, 99 cents, something crazy. $20. I looked at my wife. Like she had a finger growing out of her head. I go, you out of your mind? $20. I was like, whoever has that racket going, they should be put in jail.
They should be.
Put in jail.
Probably they live in Cleveland, Tim. They probably
do. I couldn't believe $20 for them to take my words, put it on a piece of paper, and mail it to me.
So, Tim, did you do it?
No, I didn't do it. I don't know if Melissa, trust me, she may be hiding it from me. She may have done it and she would run out to the mailbox very often, very quickly when the mail comes. I don't know. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Why don't you just print it off and make it look cool? Just print it off yourself.
Well, TJ, me and you are on the same. We're on the same wavelength.
We're grooving. We're grooving.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I'm just going to print this up at work and we'll do this. $20.
No.
TJ, that come on. That costs less than a penny. They should charge $1, maybe $1.25, and you're making big profit off.
You would even pay $5, wouldn't you, Tim?
Yeah, I'd probably pay $5.
I mean, come on, 20's
insane.
It is. It's just dumb. They're just here sucking money from you, Tim.
That's all I want. So other than that, went well.
What dessert did you have? What'd you have for dessert?
I had some silk pie.
Ooh, that's good. Chocolate silk pie?
Chocolate silk pie. It was pretty delicious. What else? Oh, Melissa somehow, she went out and she brought back a flavored moonshine. When I say like flavored, it's like a banana cream moonshine. TJ,
really? Where do you find moonshine, Tim? Were you in the hills of Kentucky? Where were you at? Where'd you get moonshine in Chicago?
There's brands that sell moonshine in the liquor store. They do it now.
Yeah.
It's so. TJ, I am not making this up. This is a true statement. I took one sip of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Where'd you get this?" She tells me. I immediately got in my car, drove there. I'm talking after one sip, immediately to the place, and I wiped them out of inventory. Just wiped them out of inventory.
Really? Holy cow! What is it like, strong?
Yeah, it's very strong, TJ. That night I was in. That night was. I woke up the next morning and I go, yeah, but dude, it tastes. You remember those BBCs when we were down in
Yeah.
That even better.
Really? Wow.
I was quite. I got jars of it sitting in my house. If somebody walked in right now, they'd be like, "This guy's raging alcoholic."
Oh, Tim! Don't start drinking it during one of the Steeler games. Don't get your crazy text.
Drunken
fueled texts.
I can't do that during Steeler games. I'm already depressed and wired enough and through so many emotions. You mix alcohol in that.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
I'll be stark
crazy.
naked. I'll be stark naked by quarter 3.
You'll be howling at the moon. It'll be crazy. Well, I'm glad you had we had a nice one. We got away we were up in the mountains in the Poconos. We had a nice Thanksgiving.
You guys look like you were at the same cottage they filmed Rocky 4.
Oh, it was great.
I was like,
I was screaming, Drago! As we're pushing
insane.
stuff up. It was great. We had a nice time. It was great. We came back and it was good. We played some games. Kids didn't kill themselves. It was good. It was good. So Thanksgiving was good. So now it's on to the Browns. Before we get there, let's open up the Yinzer mailbag. What is the Yinzer mailbag? It's when you, the Yinzer fans, get to ask us, the Yinzer Bros, anything you want. If you want to ask us a question, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com, and we'll get on the international podcast. Tim, as you take a peek into the Yinzer mailbag, what's in there tonight for us?
Question 1. Why is it that the Steelers seem to get into the head of Joe Burrow and the Bengals? I don't think they got into Joe Burrow's head at all. I don't. That dude was smoking us if they had any type of defense.
Who hasn't he really smoked? He did good. I mean, they got 3 takeaways from him, which was good.
I mean, no, they got 2, right?
Well, he threw a pick, and then they got two
that pick. I mean, that's tipped at the line of scrimmage. It went off T. Higgins' hand. So it's like, eh.
Hey, we'll take it.
The sack, the fumble, I get, but dude,
there was 2 of them. You had TJ, and then you had Herbig on that last one, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. TJ did, but man, that dude can cook, man. He's good.
Oh, he can?
He's awesome, dude.
If he wasn't on the Bengals, he would be probably front runner MVP right now. Look at his numbers.
Yeah,
his numbers are ridiculous.
Joey B scares me, man.
So I don't know if we get, like you said, I don't know if we get into his head, but you got to think this, man. You talk about a depressed dude. At some point, what's he going to do?
I mean, I get it. But he also bought the Batmobile. He can't be that depressed.
No. So what happens next year when he loses Chase?
He's not going to lose Chase. He's going
to lose Chase or Higgins. One of those guys.
He'll lose Higgins, but they'll keep Chase.
Boy, I tell you what, Higgins will look great in the black and the gold.
And you noticed, TJ. I mean, don't tell me you didn't notice as well as I did when you were listening to that press conference after, and they were asking about could Joey Porter had some stuff. I don't know if it was the press conference after the game or if it was his Tuesday press conference. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you gotta fight with a goon, and T. Higgins is a goon. You know as well as I do, when he calls somebody a goon like that, all he is doing is planting that seed, dude. He's planting that seed. You can't tell me T. Higgins is gonna be like, he called me a goon. It's like that's like a term of affection from Tomlin. He's just planting the seed, dude. Just planting the seed.
A master, isn't he a master?
You can't tell me he doesn't do that. Like he does that. He just plants seeds. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I could see the thing. I like Higgins, but he plays like 3 games a year.
Yeah, he gets hurt a lot. He's not Chase. Chase is ridiculous.
But I would love to see him paired with crazy brains. Crazy brains 14.
Crazy 8s.
Unbelievable. All right. At 9-3, what's the Steelers' upside now that they've beaten the Ravens, the Bengals, and some playoff teams?
What do you mean? What's their upside? Like, how far can they go?
How far can they go?
I mean, if you look at who's in front of them, and you look at the AFC, I don't think Kansas City's the juggernaut this year that they've been. They remind me a little bit of like when the Steelers went 11-0. They don't. I mean, they're not as bad as the Steelers were at 11-0, but they're not as formidable. The one that scares me the most right now in the AFC is probably Buffalo. They've got a pretty heavy team.
Yeah.
So here's a question: could the Steelers go toe to toe with Buffalo, scoring points and with defense?
This is the weird man. Here's the weird thing. I think the Steelers. I think the Steelers' defense can match up. I don't think Buffalo has like a ton of weapons.
They don't.
So I think the Steelers. I don't think they're going to need to go.
Yeah.
Score for them, but I don't think Buffalo's defense is bad either. So I don't think that game would be a shootout. I think it would come down to where that game is. A lot of it. Yeah. That's what I think. I think if it's up there in that crap hole they call Orchard Park. You hear about that? The kid, the one little girl that just beat cancer.
Yeah.
And some dude from Buffalo kicked her down to flight of flares.
I've been there. Buffalo's it's an armpit.
So I think if it's there, they I think whoever has at home will have the better chance of winning. I think it's a toss-up.
I think you're right. So I think they can beat anybody in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
When the NFC is concerned, I mean, obviously you got you got Detroit. They got a great offense. Holy cow!
TJ, I think their defense is getting too depleted, man. And I don't know what the score of the game is right now between them and the Packers. I'd get nervous with the Packers, but man, I will tell you what it's going to tell you a lot about the Steelers. Is that game in 2 weeks or 3 weeks in Philly? Yeah, that's going to tell you a lot about the Steelers. I like Philly, man. Their defense is good.
Yeah, their defense is really coming along this year.
So
here's the thing: what will they do to to Hurts? Can they confuse him? If they make him beat you with his arm, I feel good about their chances from a defense to offense perspective. Now, Saquon Barkley's having a year. Holy crap.
That's what I'm saying. You have to have him beat you because 26, I got visions of him just and what's killing me is like
this thing though. They kind of get down to that when it gets down to crunch time, they sometimes they stumble a little bit. They get a little weird.
They have 3 losses.
Yeah. But I mean, last
stumbling
year
that much.
They were I'm thinking last year they were juggernauts, and then they fell out of the sky. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know. Yeah, but you're right though. They're pretty healthy. Their defense looks tough. I mean, there's no doubt. I would say, I think they got a shot. I think they're definitely. If I were to put them anywhere, and I'm not wishfully thinking, I would say they're in the top 5 of teams in the league right now. Who else you put in front of them? You put Philly in front of them. You put Detroit in front of them. You put the Chiefs, the Bills.
Yeah, then you got
who else? I mean, San Francisco. They got too many injuries. They're done.
They're done.
Now, Minnesota. Does Minnesota scare you?
No, Green Bay does a little bit. Green Bay's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I just again I think. I don't know. I think we've got a very balanced team. You know what I think is the equalizer right now, especially if you look at, playing a Josh Allen and those guys that we didn't have last year. Our linebacking core is like night and day from last year. Between Queen and Wilson and all those guys. Those guys, you talk about speed and energy and power. And you look at our outside guys, our rotation of outside backers is scary.
And to be truthful, you haven't had them all healthy at one point yet, which is kind of even more. You
get Highsmith and you start throwing a Herbig in there. Holy crap!
Yeah, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of that three.
Yeah,
that 3-man that rotation where TJ's when you look up at somehow TJ's lined up at safety and you're like, what the hell's going on?
That makes me a little nervous. Well, I hope they kick Cleveland around because Myles Garrett is such an arrogant turd.
TJ. If they do not beat Cleveland,
oh, it's bad. You hit the panic button, dude. Yeah, you hit the panic button.
Season's wrapped. They got to
go in and throttle. They got to throttle Cleveland.
I mean, hammer this team. What I would do is I hope they throttle them and then they slash all the tires of their bus. That's what I would do if I was them.
Did you see Jameis Winston's his interview after the game, after their loss? He was like, I keep praying God would help me not to throw those picks, deliver me from those pick sixes. I was like, wow. He's
went from stealing crab legs in college to he's hilariously entertaining, dude.
What else you got in the YINZER mailbag?
All right. Would a first-round playoff loss make the season worthless?
I think yeah. I think if you get to the same place and it's like you lose that first one, they are built. They should at least go past the first round of the playoffs this year. I mean, I'll tell you what. Even like this week, one of the things that I saw that I needed to see, you saw flashes. I mean, of vintage Russell Wilson. That one throw he had to Freiermuth. That is elite quarterbacks make that throw. You're talking in our league, there might be 4 guys that make that throw.
What gets me nervous is the last year Ben was there, you would see flashes of him being his old self. Like you'd see it there, see a splasher. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that's not. Yeah,
but you didn't see this league. You didn't see Ben's late career any 400-yard games. Those
no, you did.
You didn't have those anymore. This was, and dude, there's something about. I know he's a wackadoodle, but Pickens, he has. The closest one that he reminds me of, like from a modern era receiver, is probably Randy Moss. He has deceiving speed because he's just got big. He's got a big stride. That one pass he caught down the sideline, he didn't even put his hands out to the very last minute, and it's just like, of course he's going to catch it. It's ridiculous. He's just very smooth. Now, if he could not be a wackadoodle, that would be awesome.
The dude is just he is like one pellet away from just going off the deep end, dude.
I know, and it's just like, the stuff that he does is just. I mean, even Tomlin's like, he's got to grow up. He's got to grow up. Holy cow! But I mean, right now, is he not a top 5 receiver in the league?
TJ, but here's the thing you're staring at. Are you going to fork $30 million over to that dude a year?
You know what I do? I try to find a stud wide receiver. Somebody is going to give you a first and something else for him. They're going to. You're going to find a team like the Jets or somebody that's going to be like, this is our guy. If we get him, we'll take care of it. If you can get a first and a third or a first and a fourth for him.
You're shipping him?
I think I would, yeah. I'd find a good stud receiver. You can find a decent one, pay him $30 million, draft you another one. You get 2 first-round draft picks next year, even though, if you find a low team that wants him, maybe you find something in the mid-first round.
I don't think the receiver draft is that deep this year, hence why they were trying to push so far their chips in to get Ayuk and those guys.
Well, think about this, though. Any team you ship him to, if you're not Mike Tomlin, who can handle him?
I mean, I don't know. That's the thing that's mind-boggling, dude.
But who can handle him?
You could play the Devils. The other edge of that sword is this team going to give you that much because they know he's a nutcase, and Mike T's the only one that can handle him.
Dude, look at Antonio Brown. Everybody knew he was a wackadoodle, and these guys are like, we could fix him. Oh, we can rehabilitate, and he just went bopping around like in a pinball machine.
But here's the crazy part with him. Like, when you hear dudes talk, and you're like, yeah, when you hear him talk, dude, he's not dumb. Like
George Pickens?
No, that dude is not dumb, dude. Like,
he doesn't care what people think of him.
When he talks ball, that dude is not dumb. Like, I could hear him talking when he talks X's and O's, when he asks him questions, I'm like, this dude is pretty intelligent when like you said, I just don't think anybody I think he's been coddled his whole life.
I think you're right. I think again, who does a masterful job with him is Russell Wilson.
That's the other key to it too, dude.
I mean, so you got Tomlin, you got Wilson, who, how do you respect rings? Hey, Wilson, he's got a ring.
Oh,
so you know what? He's a leader.
I don't think that matters to crazy leagues.
But George wants a ring. So these guys, they'll at least listen. Even that little window you got, that snippet with Tomlin, when he kind of brought him back in, and just a little thing he said at the end, he goes, "Are you with me? Are you with me?" He goes, "Yes, sir." And I'm thinking, all right. He didn't just say, "Yeah, whatever." He said, "Yes, sir," which I was like, so he views Tomlin like almost like a dad.
Well, Dad, you know what Dad needs to do? Take his belt out. I don't know.
Tomlin, he's a master. Holy cow.
I get it. I just think you get so nervous that he's going to do something like that's my biggest fear. Like, you're playing the Chiefs. You're playing the nervous.
Ship him out and get what you can for him.
You're playing the Chiefs in the playoffs, and you got them on the ropes, and he just does something stupid. And you're like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? And you give 15 the ball back with like 30 seconds, and you get your heart ripped out. That's what I'm visioning.
It could happen. I don't know, but he could. I mean, he has been. I mean, he's had his moments this year. How many WWE people's elbows does he throw this year?
But TJ, how many points has he cost them this year?
Oh, well,
Think about it.
But dude, how many points? You can't cover him.
I know,
he's uncoverable. You can't cover him. And then you got Russell Wilson, who throws moon balls. You can't, dude. He's averaging 25 yards.
Here's the thing. I just don't understand. You got another dude that's 6'10", and he can't even see the field. Put those two dudes out there and just run moon balls. And if the Saint just hit Fryman within the middle of the field, I don't understand.
I don't know either. They got a plan. All I know is this: his offense put up 44 points. He's okay with me.
You're still trotting out Vance Jefferson. I'm going, come on.
Jefferson won't be here next year. He's hanging on.
I know he won't be here next year, but you keep strut him out there now. I mean, TJ, if you want my golf opinion, I would rather see the white Stronach 15, the white dude out there than Van Jefferson.
I know. With his crazy white trailer park hair. I know.
But it just sucks because every time he's in the game, you're like, they're running the ball. And they're most likely running that.
He did have a catch this last week, though. He had a catch.
Most likely they're running that stupid toss sweep. That's what they're running. They watch it. Every time he motions that side. Here comes Najee with the toss sweep with 15.
Looks like he's running underwater. What else you got in the Yinzer mailbag? Anything else?
This is a good one. And he kind of asks, he's like, hey, did Ben hurt the Steelers by staying 2 years too long? Steelers could have had Russ at least 5 years and won a championship.
He did hurt him staying too long. I don't know if they would have gotten Russ, but he did stay too long. There's no doubt he did.
I don't think they would have gotten Russ, but I think they would have had a chance of, because they would have sucked.
Yeah.
At a Justin Herbert type. Can you imagine if you put Herbert? If you had Herbert right now with that team,
that'd be scary.
TJ, if they had Herbert with that team around him, this team around him, I would have automatically. I would have already booked my hotel down to New Orleans.
Now the thing is this, though. I mean,
weeks ago.
It's a double-edged sword with a guy like Roethlisberger. He earned the right to go out the way he wanted to. He did so much for us, it was fine. So I think that was Rooney's approach. You know what? He did enough to do what he needed to do. I think they wanted to move on, but they're like, you gave us so much, we're gonna let you ride out.
Sure.
Which, you know what? Russ didn't get that opportunity in Seattle. Brady didn't get that opportunity with the Patriots.
Yeah, but I think Russ forced his way out of Seattle. I don't think he wanted to be in Seattle anymore.
I think he saw like the writing on the wall, and again, I think he thought he was like Mahomes, and really Russ is incredible in his system. You put him in Sean Payton's system, and it's just different. But our system, what Arthur Smith runs, is like the old Seattle teams. You run the ball, great defense, moon ball. Russ does a few things, and it's a recipe for goodness.
I mean, yeah, I agree. But you can't tell me, dude, that last play, the game, when they brought in Fields, again, how stupid of a defense do you have to be to actually? Did you see the Cincinnati dude? The corner crushed inside. I'm going, what are you doing? Like, I'm even going like, this dude's that was almost worse than when they jumped off, that team jumped off sides.
Yeah, that was bad.
I'm going, you got to be an idiot, dude. He's like, and all I could think of, he had all that. I was like, he's gonna just slide 2 yards in front of first down.
They're saying now. I mean, and I think it'd be great if they could figure out how to keep both those guys. Let him keep both of them. Let Fields. So here's Fields saying, if Fields goes to the wrong place, he's going to be done.
I don't.
If anybody could do the Jedi mind stuff with him and says, you know what, Russ has got 2 more years after this. You stay, you be our guy, and then when he's done, you got the first crack. Why wouldn't you stay?
You got to put him. You're losing a lot of money, dude. Because I think he's going to get paid from somebody that's an idiotic team like the Jets.
He might, but I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, if you get to a bad system, he can't do it by himself.
Because truthfully, I don't think some people are saying Russ might try to get $35-40 million.
Pay the man.
TJ, again, who are you in competition with?
Dude, right now, think of the QBs that are making $35 million for a year.
TJ.
Baker Mayfield is making that money.
But what teams are you in competition with for his services?
For Russ?
Think about it.
Well, I mean, anybody that needs a quarterback. I mean, it could be. It's probably going to be like it's good. I mean, do you really think Aaron Rodgers can be with the Jets next year?
Do you think the Jets are going to go back to that experience, that experiment that they just did with Rodgers, and try to get an older guy and bring him back in?
But
do you think it's going to happen?
It's not just the older guy. You look at what you got with Aaron Rodgers, who's a poison, and you bring in Russ, Mr. Unlimited, and everybody loves him.
Do you think that franchise is like, yeah, let's go grab another 36? I don't think so.
But think about all the organizations that need a quarterback. You got them. You got the Panthers. You got all these different guys.
The Panthers. I think Bryce Young has looked good the past couple of weeks. I think they're settled there. I'm giving up on him. I don't think there is. You kind of did I did the math in my head. It ain't going to be Minnesota because they drafted the kid they drafted last year.
They'll be fine. No, he got hurt.
They'll be fine. The Bears ain't going to be doing anything.
San Francisco's not doing anything.
The only team at the top of my head that I think about maybe betting for Russ's services is the Tennessee Titans. That's it.
Oh, here's a dark horse team. Maybe you look like the Cleveland Browns.
They can't. They can't. They won't have the money to.
Somehow these guys always find the money. I don't know how they do it. They have guys probably
now they said getting massages as we speak right now.
That's great. So I think so you put it that way, then why couldn't they keep both guys next year?
I think Fields. I think if you put those two out there, I actually think Fields is going to have more suitors for his services than Russ.
But he'll be a backup. I mean, so you're going to pay backup
I don't
money.
think so. I think a team like the Jets would try out him and make him a bridge quarterback until they draft somebody.
But you're going to have to pay. He's not going to. I mean, do you think he'll command $30 million?
Fields?
Yeah.
I think he's going to get 20.
I think at this point, and again, you don't know what Russ is going to do. I mean, if Russ goes deep into the playoffs, or even if he takes them to the Super Bowl, I mean, you got to give Russell the next 3 years.
Oh,
and
again, if it goes that deep, you have to. But to me, it's like you can't. I don't think you're going to be able to bring him. You got to pay TJ again, and you got to pay Crazy. That's the one thing. That's the magical elixir. Crazy Legs is going to be.
Yeah. But you got to remember, some guys are going to start coming off the books in too. Here's another guy too that I would make a strong consideration. You know, Mika's got a heavy contract. You might be able to move a Mika or somebody like that and bring in somebody.
You ain't moving Minka.
I mean, dude. I mean,
TJ.
So you look at
TJ,
who's been our better safety this year.
I saw all I needed to see in that Hard Knocks to know Minka ain't going anywhere for a long, long time, dude. When they're like Minka's here, and it's all the defensive coaches in the meeting room, I'm like, and it's just Minka. It's like Minka's like helping him build a game plan. It's like he ain't going nowhere, dude.
I think it'll be interesting. I mean, at some point, Cam's going to come off the books, and some of these guys too. They can put that money toward the end.
They just signed Cam.
No, I know, but they could push that money. What does he get? Another 3-year deal? Tell you what, they look like a genius with that too, don't they? He looks like he's been reborn.
He looks like a big brown bear that has just been that basically. You ever see those old, like, you hear those stories, like the guys, like they grew up with the bear and the bear's all nice to them, and then it finally just eats them. That's what they look. He looks like that bear that just eating the people that he likes. Just hey,
you know who I don't think is going to make the team next year?
Ogunjobi, to get him off the books.
You know, also, I mean, he's got to find a place. Is Connors, his brother, man? I mean, what's he going to do?
I mean, he did get the. He did get the onside kick, so
he did. We'll give him that, but I mean, you're not. You know, that's not.
He's making like $10.
Yeah, he's not making a lot, but he's taking up. You know, some of these guys, he's taking up stuff. So is that all you got in the Yinzer mailbag?
That's all I got.
Keep rolling. Okay, cool. Again, if you got anything you'd like to ask us, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com, and we'll get you on the program. Let's talk about the Brownies real quick. You know,
hate them.
The Browns, they beat us in the Snow Bowl. I think it was a fluke, Tim. I don't know.
TJ, the worst part about that game was hearing that dude the whole entire Thursday night game, that somebody from Cleveland kept banging some steal something. That's all. I was like, when that hit, I was like, we're gonna lose this game because this is gonna annoy me all night. And it did.
I thought we were gonna pull it out there, and then we just kind of gave up at the end. We kind of lost our steam.
Oh, you mean Crazy Legs George Pickens, who was the high ball man on the Hail Mary, that's basically fighting in the stands? No.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So what do you think the Steelers' key to victory for this game is, Tim? What do you think the offense has to do?
TJ, I would just score 100 points. I would treat this like a college game where you guys score as many points as possible to get your seeding. That's all I would do.
I mean, they've showed that they can open up the offense and they can handle it, and they should be able to run. They should be able to run. And again, whatever their assignment was, you know, you cannot leave Dan Moore Jr. alone with Myles Garrett. They got to chip him. They got to double him. They got to do something.
I agree. You think, TJ? You think
they got to do something with him. They can't just leave him. You know, I know they tried some light chipping and stuff. You can't do that. You can't let him beat you. You just can't. You know,
run the ball on him. Just run it right at him. Strictly, just run it right at him.
It's good to see too. Jaylen Warren looks healthy. They all look healthy. Yeah. You know, Cordell Patterson, he looks like he's still running in quicksand. He's big. He's not very fast.
I had so much high hopes for him being a return man. Every time I see him get the ball kicked, I'm like, no, dude, stay in the end zone.
He did have it. And it looks like Calvin Austin's going to be okay. He was full practice today. And they look, hey, the Avatar, Trice looks like he'll be back today too, which is good.
But I feel bad. I mean, it seems like every time Austin he gets hit, he looks like a pinball in a pinball
He's
machine.
a $160. He's 5'9" and a $160 or 5'7" and a $160.
TJ, he looks like every time they're hitting him, like his body is just everything's gonna explode.
He does. He's fast, but he's little. I mean, what are you gonna do? So I don't know. So you're right. I think we got to score points. What do you think the defense has to do?
TJ, I wouldn't. It seemed like last time they just sat back and they rushed 4. I would blitz Jameis Winston beyond belief and just jump routes. You may give up a big play, but TJ, he's gonna throw you about 3.
I mean, did you see he threw an interception? There was not an offensive guy within 15 yards of where he threw a ball. I'm like, what? Did you see too? Remember when he was like, I'm having problems. He got LASIK. He's like, everything's good now. I got LASIK surgery.
Dude, he's unreal. Like, you'll see him dude, he will rattle off a 75-yard pass. It looks beautiful as heck. Then he'll just come back the next play and he'll be like, what are you doing? He's
got a monster arm. He's a big dude, man. Holy cow.
I would just blitz him. I'd blitz him beyond. And TJ, it can't be like last game. 90 has to show up.
He does. Yeah, he does. Yeah. I don't know if it was snow. I don't know if it was footing. I don't know what the deal was. He just wasn't.
It wasn't like that early in the game, dude.
Yeah.
But I will tell you. It will tell you. I mean,
he's got to come in and we'll have Highsmith, which will be a difference.
That's a big difference when 56 is playing too, man.
Yeah. I mean, Highsmith adds a big degree, and then you work in Herbig a little bit, and we'll see. So
I'm
what's your
excited
score
for
prediction?
Trice.
Trice is going to be good.
TJ, they are going to beat the loving crap out of this team. TJ, you don't think all the stuff that from that last game, they don't have it. You don't think Tomlin has it planned? I can't wait for Hard Knocks because they probably got it just playing in the building the whole time. Miles Garrett, Jameis Winston saying all his Eminem meatball stuff. He probably has that on a loop. Just that team's gonna come out spitting. TJ, they are going to beat the living crap out of this team.
So what's your score prediction?
TJ, it may be 100-6. I don't know. I think, TJ, honestly, I think they're going to put up a 30 burger. It's going to be something like, my prediction? I think it's going to be 31-10, and I'm going to say you're going to see Justin Fields the whole entire fourth quarter.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
TJ Watt not playing fourth quarter because they are going to be dog walking this team up and down, up and down, up and down.
My score prediction before you said that was 31-10.
TJ, and you know me, I'm never like this. They're going to dog walk them.
Yeah.
Dog walk them.
So what's going to happen here, folks, is at some point, if this doesn't happen, probably about 5 minutes of the game, Tim's going to be sending me text like, what is going on? I knew it.
I can't see them losing. I can't see them. I can't even see it being a close game. When the Steelers are locked in, when you don't hear, have you heard a peep from anything out of that locker room?
No.
And I saw some video of Pickens actually practicing, and he was actually practicing really hard. I'm going, something's different about this game, dude. He was doing all types of hand stuff with that guy that was sticking out pads. I'm like, he looks like Pickens may have 400 yards. He may break the NFL passing thing.
Can you imagine they get focused and they just come in and they pin their ears back and then the offense just dictates everything?
The only way that the Cleveland Browns would have any chance of being within 20 points of this game if God himself went above Heinz Field and start doing one of these like Elsa and the wind starts blowing and the snow starts coming. That's the only humanly possible way. They're going to beat the piss out of this team. Beat them so bad.
I'm with you. So we're in alignment with that. So that's what will happen. All right. That's all we got this week for the Injured Bros podcast. Again,
and then they better slash their tires on the bus and be like, here you go. Have a fun time.
Have a fun playing getting back to Cleveland. You don't want that because you don't want them hanging out here longer.
No, I want them hanging out there, and I want some Yinzer trying to fix their tires. Talking about we can't get your tires until Tuesday.
That'd be great. Sorry, Miles, we can't help you.
Can you Chuck from Belanox with a big Steeler jersey, the hard hat on, we can't get these tires until Tuesday. You got to stay here. Great.
We're gonna put you up at the Holiday Inn.
I put him in the O'Connor Lodge. Great.
That would be awesome. All right, we're the Injured Bros. Thank you for hanging out with us again. If you like our podcast, share it with everybody. Subscribe. Do whatever you got to do. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Still number one out here. All right.
See y'all.